you have the federal government overseeing this whole program.
Now, as a Muslim officer, as also Bangladeshi officer, what you, how you want to advise, what do you want to tell to our community for our youth, that what direction they should go to get more involved and stay. Well, actually, let me rephrase myself. What I'm trying to say here, we have also a crisis in our community, like youth and the immigrant parents. And I'm sure you have some experience. It could be part of the family domestic violence, and there was also domestic violence itself. What experience you observe being as a part of the NYPD, and that you can share with the community how you can avoid the future conflict?
Well, it's a very good question. I was a domestic violence officer for quite some time earlier in my career. These are like, the reason I say it's a very good question, because the topics that you brought up are usually taboos in our community that we don't talk about, but they don't discriminate. That this thing happens in our community, from child abuse to domestic husband-wife problems. These are occurring in our community. My advice to the parents are, just use common sense standard. If something doesn't seem right, maybe it's not right, and just have more awareness. Promote this anti-safe horizons or anti-domestic violence programs in our community. Youth for a lot of our street level drugs, marijuana. These are very common things right now, although more than likely might be legalized in New York State, but still it's not a good thing. Just because it may be legalized doesn't mean it's a good thing, and our kids are into it. Bangladeshi immigrants, absolutely. Drugs.
Is there something we as a community level we don't know, because some of them they go under the radar?
Well, yeah, I do know that, and the parents of those kids, they also know it, but they do not seek help because it's an embarrassment.
Do you receive a lot of call from kids calling against parents?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
What is the situation, and what you can share with them, how the parents can avoid those things?
Well, the cultural conflicts. Our youth come here at an early age, and parents are trying to restrict them to hold certain culture, which is great. So cultural values, which is one of the most important things that we have. We should, but our youth come here. They are exposed to the way of life in New York City, and they want to adapt to that. And when we as parents try to limit them, it creates conflicts. Yes, and then through that domestic violence arising, you have a child, parents beating up their kids to a point that they don't know what's the limit. The students would call the cops or tell their teachers that they're being abused at home, and I've seen many parents being arrested for not knowing the limit of an abuse. I'm talking now.
I know, but what makes this calm? No, we got. Is it something that? What is that parents should do? What they should stop the call? I mean, is it school? Is the one informing them they can call against parents, or how that trigger?
By law, they have to. New York State, according to New York State law, they have to notify the authority. As a police officer, as a teacher, as a EMS worker, you're mandated to report any suspected child abuse. If you don't, it's a misdemeanor. You will get arrested, regardless if you're a police officer or a teacher. So yes, so when a student goes into school and has bruise or physical apparent injuries, and the student may not tell the teacher, but maybe discussing with other students. And
Thank
information
you.
like that.
Let's move to another important. We want to talk about something else important, which is the bail reform that has a lot of concern about it. But before that, I want to take a short break.
Sure.
And we'll stay tuned to your viewers. You're watching first Friday night Real Talk with the channeltt.com. Please stay with us, and you can also join us with the facebook.com and youtube.com channel. Just type channeltt.com. Thank you. We'll see you right after the break.
আপনি কি বয়স্ক পিতামাতা ও গুরুজনদের দৈনিক সেবা নিয়ে চিন্তিত? ভাববার কোনো কারণ নেই। সিনিয়র মাল্টি সার্ভিস ইনক আপনাকে দেবে বয়স্ক সেবার সকল সমাধান। আপনি কি বয়স্কদের সেবা করছেন? তাহলে আপনার সময়ের মূল্য হবে উপযুক্ত পারিশ্রমিক। এসএমএস ইনক স্বল্প মূল্যে বাড়ির দৈনিক কাজকর্মে যে কোনো ধরনের বয়স্ক সেবা দিতে সদা প্রস্তুত। নিউ ইয়র্ক স্টেটের বয়স্ক ও অক্ষম বাসিন্দাদের আস্থা এসএমএস ইনক এর পূর্ণ ব্যবস্থা। বিস্তারিত জানতে কল করুন 347-778-5252।
Dear viewer, welcome back. Friday Night Real Talk. Suman Sayed with us, and we're talking about a lot of things about his NYPDs and his career. And before you go to break, we're asking him this famous we have in our community recently is called reform. We're hearing this word. First, what is the bail reform? Can you just clarify for our viewers what is it?
Well, it is for when an individual gets arrested, post bail to be released. You know, once you get arrested, you just, you know, it doesn't mean that you're guilty, but there's a due process, right? One of the process is bail falls on that. If you don't post bail, you may be sent to, say, Rikers Island for your next hearings.
Okay.
You know, which can be traumatic for people that are or first time getting arrested, or it's just not a friendly environment to be in Rikers Island for, and that person may have not even done committed the crime. So so that's what bail reform is. They're trying to limit it. They want to say everyone, there is no need to have bail. You get arrested because it was the prison population is so high. They want to be fair to everyone. This is something that a lot of people don't know. It was actually Donald Trump, President Trump, in late 2018. He signed that.
But what does it say? You don't need, but you don't need to bail.
You don't need to post a bail. You let go. However, your date, you still have to appear at the court. At the past, what happened? If you get arrested, you go to the precinct. You're in the detention holding cells. You're in the process. You